when you say introvert, right, it's fear of speaking. Actually, it's not fear of speaking. It's actually fear of making mistake when you speak. So you don't want to be defined as a person who makes mistake. So you try to avoid making mistake. When you don't know how to avoid making mistake, you don't speak. Now, what I explain in that 5 seconds happens in your mind in a few milliseconds. That's why when you want to go, you stop immediately. For you, it's immediate, but the process is this. Right? First. Second is you have more inferiority complex, not introvert. You feel that the other person may know better than what you know. So you don't like to say the wrong things, that you think that they may know better. So let me give you a simple way to start conversation. Just say, I may be wrong, but this is what I believe. That's it. So you are acknowledging that it's okay for me to be wrong from your perspective, but I'm also speaking out about what I believe. So that person will now not think you are wrong and not say it, will now say you're not wrong or you are wrong, but this is how it's right. So when you do conversation like this, you also build confidence that it's okay to be wrong and to speak to people because they will help you to be right. So it's a very simple technique. I may be wrong, but this is what I believe. Then start your conversation. Okay, so the question has two parts about social media friends and also physical friends who seems to be non-existent as friends in the current times, right? So let's talk about the social media friends. When you go into social media and have your friends, there are only two reasons. One, you want to, you have a sort of a socio kind of a status that you need to achieve by having a lot of friends. That is not having a lot of friends, that is having a lot of people linked to your Facebook. That's not friends, it's linkages, right? So that's because people are pushing you. How many people? If you have two, only two. If you have 1,000, only 1,000. If you have 10,000, only 10,000. You understand? It's never ending. So you are forced to do that. That's first reason. Second reason is, like what you said, everybody is bored. So having more friends, it means on social media, it means having more entertainment to burn your time. They are not there for friends. It's just having a mixed reality of different things. That's why it is known that people spend about 2.5 hours to 4.5 hours a day on social media alone. Imagine if that hours are spent on different things. And these are the people who say, I don't have enough time. If you don't have enough time, where did you find time for 4.5 hours on social media? Because it's so engaging that you cannot let go. It's like watching a continued series. So those like FB Watch and a lot of other things. Now let's come back. So you know that social media friends are for different reasons. But there are also your families that you connect and your existing friends that you connect, like your old classmates and everything. This is for the purpose of keeping that alumni or your relatives in a circle that you can share information. You know what's happening. These are friends on social media that you have a bit more than that engagement that I've mentioned in the first two, that you want to have information so that you can be there to support them. But all your congratulations, and I'm so sorry to hear about it, will only go with likes or pictures or down or smiley or crying face. Not more than that. And you hope they will read. So what you do, when you post it, you will tag their name. But if you really look at it, there's nothing stopping you from picking up the phone and calling them. Right? So we don't do that. We are also guilty of that. We don't value that friendship. Why I'm bringing the word friendship? Now we come to reality, physical thing. We call everybody friendship. But we don't realize the friendship is a relationship, whereas everything else is a connection. What is everything else? Acquaintance is a connection. Neighbor is a connection. Working colleague is a connection. Right? A friendly party or friend, a common friend is a connection. Friendship is a relationship. That means, like husband and wife, both must know that they are, one is a husband and one is a wife. And the husband needs to play the role of husband, the wife needs to play the role of wife. Then the relationship is valuable. Parents and children. The children must know that this is the parent, and the parent must know this is my child. So the parents will know how to care for them, right, rather than scolding them to become adults. And the children will know that this is my parents, I need to learn from them to grow, if that relationship is defined. Now tell me, how many of us define our friendship as a relationship and value it? When I say value it, you declare, hey, I am actually value our friendship, and I think we must be able to support. So these friends that we have will never be a friend of need or friend of convenience. It will be a relationship of friendship, right? What is friends of need? Like a working colleague. I'm friendly with him so that, whenever I need to get some job done, it will be done. I have to maintain because it's teamwork. That's friendship of need, right? My neighbor, I'm friends with them, but it's friendship of convenience. There are neighbors who become friendship as well. That means you can see those kind of neighbors where the children also get married and they grow old together as well, right? But you see some friendship is just okay, hi, and everything, it's good, go this one every time like that. It's a friendship of need or convenience, right? So when we put all this connection and name it friendship, that's why there is no true friendship, because your connections are more than true friendship. So the majority rules the way you think about all friendship, right? But ask yourself, have you established friendship truly with anyone, that the other person also know it's a truly friendship relationship, that you can call, hey, how are you? These are the friends that you will call. These are the friends that if they call, you will drive even though it's 3 hours to go and see. That's a relationship. And you will not count, I spent so much to come here, I wasted my time to drive here. That part will never come into that conversation with them. Now you have to write down all your friends that you have today. Not on social media, but it doesn't matter whether it's social media or non-social media. And write down, is it a connection or friendship? Is it a connection? When you don't know it's a connection or friendship, when it feels like it's more than a connection, build relationship and friendship with those persons. Then you will find there are true friends out there. And there are people who have friends who are still from their standard 1 until today. And there are people who are friends with their working colleagues of 30 years also. It's a relationship for them. Well, you can't say that this is a society that we are living in. This is a society that we have choose to live in. I said the reason why we choose to is because what did we prioritize in life? Our work. Let me give you this scenario. Your work is very, very important, very critical. Correct? And today, you receive a phone call that somebody that you love so much is very critically ill. Would you go or stay at work?
I would go.
You would go. See, why at this point, right, when you decide to go, you have prioritized relationship. And because you believe that is important, you are willing to justify to your workplace that this is important. And you know they are not going to think bad about you. You know that they're not going to fault you, and you don't have a fear of the consequences there, because you prioritize the relationship. You allocated importance to your life, and you created that importance to that person's life, and you stood by that importance to your work. You prioritize. When you can do this once, you must remember the work is not pressuring you. It is that you have not prioritized your personal life enough to justify to work. The work is not your bosses or your work. Your bosses are not going to be psychic. They're not going to dream and say, okay, Wilson needs some break. Tomorrow I'll give him a break. No. You have to ask for it. But in most cases, we dare not ask. Why? Because nobody else asks. First. Second thing, everybody else is working. So if I don't work, I will lose out. Fear. Right? This is why we say our work is sort of pressure. No. We have created work pressure onto ourselves and deprioritize family and relationship. Right? So this is why a lot of environment, they say they need to create work-life balance. Right? So one very important, create a Monday to Sunday chart. Fill up how many hours a day you're going to be at work. Fill it up. Then all the other times that you're not at work, right, you will see that you have more time at home than at work in a week. Why you don't feel that you're at home more than at work, even though in reality you actually spend more time at home? Do you know why? Because you bring the thoughts about work to home and you don't detach work in your mind. That's why you can't connect at home. Right? So if you draw this chart and then you put there, my work finishes at 5 o'clock, your mind will be automatically ready to detach from work at 5 o'clock. If you need to rush home and you got to work, and that work is going to bother you at home, finish it, then go home. Don't take it home and try to finish there.
I fully understand that, but I also find that it's difficult to do sometimes. Yeah, it's time to go home. And go. Next thing you know, the boss is on the line and says, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You will have those bosses. But imagine the boss is on the line calling you. And that's the moment you have the critical family member to see. What will your conversation be about? Okay, boss, I'll come and do. Let my family member die first. It's okay. You won't do it. You won't say that, right? What you will do is, boss, okay, I have an urgent matter to handle, and can I look at it later? Now, the boss thinks you are very free because you say you can do. Because you never say you can't do. Because you never say you can't do, so the boss say, I always go to the person who can do. Because he also doesn't want to fail. Whose fault is it? Our fault. Because we never say we can't do. When the days that you want to do for your family and you can't do for your boss, learn how to say no. Because you never said no, your boss always know that you will always say yes. Tell me how many people don't want to have a staff who will always say yes. But the boss will manage the staff who also says no. He will go in to the staff that is saying yes. He'll say, can you do this for me? You will say yes, done. But to the staff who sometimes say no, you think you can help me with this? You understand not? One, he's giving instruction. The other one is asking whether you can help. So if your boss is giving you instruction, it's because you are a yes man. If you want your boss to respect your time, you have to sometimes say no, because it is your time.